I was interested in how much power our words have, how when we speak to each other we can cause pain or joy or suffering or pleasure. And the novel exaggerates this power and gives it all to children so that when they speak, everyone around them becomes sick. And it explores a story in a world where children can control grown-ups with language. They're young and innocent, and they haven't used language as much, so it will make them sick too, but because they're still young, they're okay for a little while. I think it's more about power, and children don't have very much power, and what happens if suddenly they have so much power they can hurt the people around them? What will they do? So in a way, it's a story about power and how people can abuse power. In the mystical Jewish religion, in Kabbalah, there is the idea that if you think you understand God, then you're wrong. In other words, there is no understanding, that everything is a mystery. So it's a religion that says there are no answers. And this was an important part of the characters' lives, to kind of live in a world where they can never understand why we're here and what we're supposed to do, because it makes their struggle worse. We would like to know why we're here, and religion usually answers that question, but this is a religion that says, no, you will never know. So that interested me. Well, he's a kind of villain. He's a bad guy. He's someone who sees power and wants to control it, and he's trying to manipulate the world, and we see this in our politics, right? Somebody who understands how to manipulate people. And I think it's a story that needed a villain. It needed a hero and a bad guy. And Labov is really a terrible bad guy who has many disguises. And I think this is the idea that evil can come in all kinds of shapes, and we don't always know where it's going to come from. The story is about one man who loses his child because when she speaks, it makes him and his wife ill, and he's mourning, he's grieving that that without being able to speak to his child, there's no connection. So it's a story about how we love our children so much, but what if they hurt us? How do we navigate that? Because part of parenting is learning not to care as much about yourself. It's about letting other people live, and even if it causes you pain. So that was a part of the story that interested me.